The big picture consequence of lacking balls is a completely destroyed society, which is what we're experiencing now to some extent. Modern society is marred with wayward liberalism. And what is liberalism? What is conservatism? I look at it societarily as the difference in values. So liberals are more like, well, anyone can do anything, blah, 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 blah. While conservatives are more like, well, no, there's social norms. You can't do this and you can't do that. Maybe it's not legally enforced, but it's a norm at the very least. And it's just gone way too far on the liberal side. Even classical liberals would agree with that. For a family, team, or even a society to function, there must be rules and norms that you're held to. Okay, if you have a 3-year-old or 5-year-old, whatever age, and you don't enforce any rules, you don't tell them, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, but you can do this. If you don't have that conversation with them, and you don't enforce any rules, guess what? He's going to be in the pantry at 3 a.m. eating candy, playing video games, not sleeping, not going to school, this, that, and the third. There needs to be some kind of enforcement. Now, some people will make the argument, well, you know, some variation of, well, people are adults, you can let them, they can do whatever they want. But the point is not that, that's not the point being made here. The point being made is that when you don't give human beings certain rules to follow, either through religion, law, or societal norms, then they're going to go crazy. They're going to do things that are terrible at the end of the day, which is what we are experiencing now. I mean, there's mass crime occurring at this very moment in America. But, however, in order to enforce anything, you need a pair of balls. And this is the point here. If you don't have a pair of balls, how can you enforce anything? It takes a pair of balls to say, no, you can't do that. And you can only do this. It takes a pair of balls to do that. If you don't have a pair of balls, you're not going to do it. You're not going to enforce anything, and then that leads to the results which I just spoke about. A husband who lacks balls will have obese, loser kids, and a wife that is insufferable. A society that lacks balls will have degeneracy. A team leader that lacks balls will have a team that doesn't respect him. A team that won't follow his command. And by extension, they're probably not going to win, because how can you win if you're not being, as a team, if you don't have a leader, pushing things forward? Every team needs a leader. You must have balls to do something. You must have balls to say something. You must have balls to stand for something. And our balls are getting chopped off currently because we're dealing with censorship. We're dealing with censorship, whether legally or via cancel culture. We're dealing with it, okay? And people are cowering in a corner, sitting in a corner like, oh, I don't want to get canceled, blah, blah, blah. If no one stands up, if no one has a pair of balls to get up and say something about what's happening and say some truth, they're not going to get anywhere. You need to have a pair of balls to stand for something. Otherwise, you're going to be run over in your life. And you know what? That's what happens when you're a loser. You can live your life as a loser and you get the results of a loser. Losers stand for nothing. Losers lack balls. As more people without this mindset, the less degenerate society becomes.